Hello and welcome back. In this video we're going to be using the limb jerky gun to create deer jerky and skinless snack sticks in the dehydrator. This is a great little recipe using the High Mountain jerky seasoning kits. You're going to love this. This is one of the best and easiest jerky recipes you'll ever make. Hit that subscribe button down there. Don't forget the bell icon so you don't miss any videos. Check this out. The High Mountain seasoning kit we're using is the Hickory blend. It comes with a shaker bottle if you're doing whole muscle jerky, spice pack, cure pack, and of course your instructions. We're going to be following the jerky instructions to a T for the flat jerky we're going to be making out of ground venison. For the snack sticks, we're also going to be using the jerky mix instructions because we're going to be dehydrating it and or smoking it at a lower temperature. The snack sticks instructions are typically for larger snack sticks that are actually going to be cooked or smoked and not dehydrated at low temperatures. If you're doing it that way, you won't need as much cure, and actually that kit will do 20 pounds instead of 10. Now if you want to know how we grind and package our deer meat this way to make it so easy to handle, I'll put a link to that up there in the cards in the corner. We ground this meat especially for deer jerky with adding zero other fat to it. This is just straight up ground venison for jerky. So because we're doing the full 10 pounds, we're going to use the whole packet of the cure and the entire packet of the seasoning. The directions call for a 1/4 cup of ice cold water per pound of meat. So 10 pounds of meat, and I'm on a well, my water's cold, 2.5 cups of water. It's hard to use too much water in these kits because you're going to dehydrate it anyway. Now we just get up in there and mix it up real good. To give you a hint, have a sink ready to rinse your hands when you're done. Now look, that seems like a lot of water, right? But it's going to help you mix those spices and get them incorporated into the meat evenly with the cure, and you'll be surprised at how much that meat just absorbs all that water along with the spices. And when you think you got it all the way mixed up, mix it for a few more minutes to make sure you got it all the way mixed up. You can also trick this stuff out if you want. You can add extra garlic, you can add extra garlic powder, onion powder, Worcestershire sauce, liquid smoke if you're not using a smoker and you want extra smoke flavors. Lots of things you can do. The first time you try it, just do it with the kit. It's going to surprise you how good it is. Once you have it all mixed up, use the Glad pressing seal to cover up your tub. This stuff is fantastic and you don't have to fight it like you do that stupid clear plastic wrap. There we go. Now because I'm doing this two different ways and this is for jerky and no fat, we'll put a big fat J on it and stick it in the fridge overnight to cure. We're doing the snack sticks basically the same way on this part. The only difference is this has a 10% beef fat added to it. You could use 20% or even higher. You can also use other fat and other meat products. You could use pork, pork shoulder, pork fat. Doesn't really matter. It's whatever you like. I prefer the taste of beef in my jerky and snack sticks, so if I'm going to add any fat at all, it's most likely going to be beef steak fat. You know what? Because the instructions said that a pack of cure will do 20 pounds of meat, we only got about 11 in here. I'm going to cut this about in half, a little over half. And I already weighed this cure package out, and I know about how much I need to use out of it. But we're still doing all of the spice mix. Cannot stress enough how important the water is to making this mix up well. Don't be afraid of the water. Water is your friend. Get in there, mix it up just like before. Put the press and seal on that. I'll put a link to this stuff in the description below as well. If you guys have not used this before for covering things at home, this stuff will change the way you do it. You'll never use that little silly clear cling wrap crap again. Snack sticks. And in the fridge.
Day 2.
It's now the next morning. The meat has been curing for close to 24 hours, not quite. We're getting ready to go ahead and get the jerky on the trays and the snack sticks on the trays, and I'm going to use this Haka Brothers 15-pound stuffer to help fill my jerky gun. You don't need the stuffer, you don't have to do that, but if you've ever tried to fill one of these things up, making little meatballs and stuffing them in there and trying to get the air out of them, it's kind of a pain in the butt. This makes it a lot easier, way faster. The limb jerky gun also comes with a flat nozzle and the round nozzle for both flat jerky and snack sticks. You can also use regular sausage stuffer tubes on this gun. Some of them will fit, some of them won't. You just got to kind of experiment to figure out which ones will. Here's a little tip. If you keep your hands wet, this makes it go a lot easier. The meat and the fat doesn't stick to your hands nearly as bad. Also, another tip, get all the air you can out of the meat. If you're using a sausage stuffer, make a good meatball and try to get most of the air pounded out of that, at least all that you can reasonably. And when you put it in the stuffer, slam it in there. The less air you have in it now, the better your snack sticks are going to come out. The rest of this is pretty simple. Stuff it back together. To plunger down to the meat. Whoops, there we go. We're ready to get started. We're going to be using this Cabela's 12 Tray Dehydrator. It's a little bit older model. I'll put a link to the newer model down in the description below. This is a great dehydrator. You don't need one this big. You can do this with an open country dehydrator. I'll put a link to that. That was my first dehydrator, and it works fine for smaller batches. But this thing lets you knock out big loads of jerky and snack sticks with less work and less time. It just doesn't get too much easier than that for filling up the jerky gun. You don't have to fight it or anything. Just shoot it right in there and you're ready to go. You need to leave a little bit of space in between each one, but not a lot. These are going to shrink up as they cook anyway. Pretty much every grid can have one, so these trays are going to hold a lot. Told you it was fast. And there we go. That is a full tray right there, man. I don't know how many pounds of meat's on there, but it's a lot. I'm not going to have any trouble getting all of this and all the jerky on that dehydrator. First tray in. Now just keep doing that till you're done. Tray number 2. Tray number 3. Okay, I've reloaded the sausage stuffer, changed the tips on the jerky gun, and now we're going to be doing the flat jerky. I got about 3.5 trays held, geez, probably 12 pounds of snack sticks out of a 12 tray dehydrator. The flat jerky takes up a lot more real estate on these trays. And you're always going to end up with this one little weird piece unless you make a test patty out of it and grill it up. The jerky, the flat jerky, is darker because there's no added beef fat. Tray 4. Five, 6, 7, 8. Took about 8.5 trays to do 20 pounds of meat. 10 jerky, 10 snack sticks. Actually about 12 snack sticks. That's a heck of a good looking dehydrator right there, isn't it? Now just turn it on. Our temperature, we're going to set that up as high as it'll go, which is 160. Oops. There we go. Time, I'm going to set this for 8 hours, although I think it'll only take about 6. There's good meat helper right there.
Clean and George, just call me Clean and George.
So George is here, he's been helping me out. The jerky is not ready yet. It has been, how many hours? Was it 10 this morning? I started it.
10:19.
It's 5:30 now and it's not done. But some of the snack sticks are that are out on the edge. Like this one. So, you have to have a test stick.
Pretty good.
It's awful. We have to throw it all away.
Directly into the trash.
Right after you leave. But these are awesome. I'll show you guys packaging them up when they're finally done. But these are pretty good. So we're going to get out what's done so George can take some home with him. We'll be back in a few minutes. Those last few took a few more minutes than the rest of them, and you're going to have that with any dehydrator. Now we're in the cutting and packaging phase now. Let me show you a little trick about packaging this stuff up. Cut the ends off your jerky strips and trim them to length with scissors. You want to cut the ends off because if you don't, these sharp little pointy parts right here of the ends and pieces are going to poke holes in your vacuum seal bags and you'll lose your vacuum. So on all of your jerky sticks and all of your jerky flat sticks, just trim the ends off before you package them up. Believe me, it'll last a lot longer and you won't lose your vacuum seal. And those little ends and pieces are great for when you're traveling. Just drop them in a little Ziploc bag, and over the next few days, heck, probably the next few hours, they won't last long. Then just vacuum seal them up. I do them in these little grab and go packages, so I can just grab a pack out of the freezer for a ride if I got a road trip, or to grab a couple packs if we're going fishing or hunting or something like that. The VacMaster VP215 is an expensive machine, but you know what? Good things cost money, and if you hunt and fish, do a lot of vacuum sealing, it's worth the investment. And look at that. You can vacuum seal anything in it, and it's ready to go. I got a little more packaging work to do here, but you guys get the idea. This is skinless snack sticks and deer jerky in a dehydrator, fast and easy. These high mountain jerky kits are out of this world. Look, Bass Pro Shops carries them. If you're local to Virginia, Green Tops carries them. Cabela's carries them, or you can get them off the internet. All their kits that I've tried are absolutely fantastic and definitely recommend them. And as usual, links to everything used in this video is in the description below. So I hope you like this video. Hit that subscribe button down there and the bell icon so you don't miss any videos like this one. We'll see you next time. And don't share it with your friends because they'll eat it all up and keep wanting you to make more. Oh, wrong button, eh? Yeah, that would not have been funny if I'd have dropped it. Thank you very much. Then just vacuum seal them up. I'd do them in these little grabbing, whoops,